Hello, good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today we have a match that pretty much sums up the, how do I put this, the insanity that is the FDR. So, this is a match from Clan Battles. This is our Sunday night session, and we are up against a team that has an FDR, and we have a Richtofen. Now, our resident CV main was unable to attend this session, so we put our resident DD main in the Richtofen, because, well, currently the way it works in Clan Battles is that you need either a Richtofen or an FDR to really advance, or some type of carrier. Val, our resident CV main, apparently has had great success in Midway. That's what he has been using, and unfortunately, again, he wasn't able to make it tonight, so we have Pickles in our Richtofen. Now, the reason we have Pickles in our Richtofen, because again, he is our resident DD main, because the only other player who has Richtofen in our clan is me. And you do not want me in a carrier in a competitive setting. So anyway, I'm in the Ohio, and I'm actually using the incorrect build for Clan Battles. I forgot to redo my build, and I actually have a secondary build, which actually helps prove my point in this video. Because Ohio, when you have a secondary build on them currently, this is before the commander rework, if you're watching post-commander rework, the secondary skills actually buff the AA as well. So I do have skills like BFT and AFT equipped, and there's the FDR's first victim, which is Solanus. Unfortunately, Solanus was already turning outward when the FDR struck him, so, I'm sorry, dove down on him, so he just ate 3 FDR torpedoes. Anyway, so like I was saying, BFT and AFT both boost the efficiency of the AA, and I am in the Ohio with the AA flag equipped as well. And the Ohio it's a Montana that's a little slower, has 8 18-inch guns, 457mm guns, and Massachusetts levels of secondaries. If you notice on the minimap, my secondaries are out to 11.3 kilometers, and I also have all the secondary modules and again relevant captain skills equipped. I'm sure I threw it up on screen for you guys. So, since we have a Montana here that is pretty much a partial AA build, Montana and Ohio base already have really good AA. And, well, you'll see what happens here. So, as you can see as well, this is actually one of those rare Cyclone matches that are supposed to happen in Clan Battles. The first, week or so that we participated in Clan Battles, we barely got any Cyclones at all. Here comes the FDR. Alright, I've focused my party sector on the FDR planes, and look at these damage numbers rolling in. I'm almost at 8,000 plane damage already. And I'm sorry, we just crossed 10,000 plane damage. I shot down 1 plane. 10,000 damage for 1 plane. And keep in mind, these are the planes that already attacked Solanus, and Solanus popped his DFAA. And the planes also flew over the 2 other Petropavlovsks we have on this flank, so they've all been through, all these planes have been through AA and flak already, and I had to do just over 10,000 damage to it to shoot down 1 plane. These planes have an insane amount of health, and I know in the last video I talked about the FDR, several people pointed out that they do give up a lot to get this. The fighter's apparently trash, or it doesn't have a fighter, something like that, and it doesn't have a heal either. But, I mean, when the planes are this healthy, look at this again. Just getting off just a wall of torpedoes, point blank on a Petro. I think he actually dived a little bit too close to that Petro, and he didn't arm most of his torpedoes. So, or I don't know what happened, because the replay system is actually currently broke, so I can't actually take control of the camera and free cam it around, which is quite annoying. Wargaming, please fix that. Anyway, I think it does have a fight. I think it's just a crappy fight. It doesn't have a heal. That's what it doesn't have. It doesn't have a heal. So even without a heal, these planes are capable of taking an extraordinary amount of damage and not caring at all. So here comes its dive bombers. So look how many planes he has too. And when you see the total damage number that we do to his planes and how he still at the end of the match has pretty much full squadrons, it's pretty insane. Yeah, he does have fighters. There we are. Anyway, so here comes his planes, okay? So, I think I shot down one of his fighters. So he's flying over 2 Petros and an Ohio, and I'm focusing my AA on his dive bombers. I'm at 90,000 plane damage so far, and I've only shut down 2 planes, and his squadron's still practically full with the dive bombers. Now, he did actually miss his run. I think he dived on Superwho's and, of course, the Petropavlovsk, because the current meta for clan battles right now is MVR or FDR, Ohio, Yami, or Kremlin, and then just spam Petros after that. So he actually missed his run, and here he comes again with his dive bombers. So I think he F'd them out, then immediately launched again. So watch this. So he's coming at me, and I turn hard over to throw his aim off, and he gets a run off on me, and boom, 23,600 damage and 1 run on the Ohio. Now it isn't Citadel damage, so I will give it that, but still 23,000 damage in 1 run with HE bombs, and he started a fire. I'm actually lucky he only started 1 fire. He could have easily set 2 or 3 fires. But anyway, in me trying to avoid his run, I have unintentionally given my broadside to this Petropavlovsk, and I'm currently backing up and turning hard over to prevent any more unnecessary chunking of my Ohio. Keep in mind too, he did just waltz right back over here after raking his dive bombers over to Petropavlovsk and my AA from before, and just dunked on me for almost 24,000 damage. Now, the Petropavlovsk that you're seeing right here is also another annoyance of clan battles, because, like we talked about before with the Petro, it's so low in the waterline that you miss it half the time. When you do hit it, you overpin it. And then its turrets have, each of them can 360, so they all have fantastic turret angles. So it can sit there, and when you do hit it in a part where you should chunk it, you bounce it because he's angled properly, because his turrets are so fantastic. He can, again, keep all of his turrets on target and stay perfectly angled. So we got this Yami pushing up right here, and he's doing a pretty good job of stopping just before coming across this island. That's what I was waiting right here for. This is a mistake I made right here. I kept anticipating him to continue to push forward, but as soon as right here, as he started to back up, I really should have shifted my guns back toward the Petro like it did now, and continue to put fire down on him rather than wait another 20 or 30 seconds and hope that the Yami was about to come around the corner. Because Super's not looking so hot, and thankfully we did get the trade for the Yami for the Petro. I mean, we did get a little bit of a points gain there, because a battleship is worth more points than a cruiser, despite it being the Petro, and it's basically a battle cruiser. So FDR is over there on the eastern flank now, raining hell down over yonder, and we have the Petro, the Stalingrad, the Venezia crammed up here over in the top left corner of the map. And we're actually, believe it or not, winning right now. We are down on ships, but if we can hold these 2 caps, we will win the match. The issue is we can't continue to sit and let the Petros tank. They've taken too much damage already, so we have to push up and deal with the Petropavlovsk, the Stalingrad, and the Venezia. And look who's back again. So I have my secondaries going on the Petropavlovsk. That's my first actually half-decent hit on the Petro right there. It was only for 7k. So dive bombers are back again. My fighter's up right now, by the way. And he has latch. And, ooh, guy actually whiffed his shots there. And the fighter's latch, but for whatever reason, oh yeah, because the planes have an insane amount of health, they didn't shoot anything down. Now, I'm sure they did help in doing damage to the planes where my AA could take them down, but guys, look, I'm at almost 50,000 plane damage right now. I only shot down 12 planes. Oh, look, he's back again. Funny how that works. So he's back again. AA's on his planes yet again. And look at the plane damage. Look at the rate at which it's climbing. Up, here comes his dive bombers again. And that time, what was that, 10k easy? So there's the little devil right there by himself. But we need to get the surface ships down first. And that's something that's much different from clan battles than random battles. You always want to take care of the surface ships first, and then move on to the CV. Because yes, the CV is worth a lot of points, and yes, it would help that I could take him out right there. But unless I could absolutely 100% guarantee I could take out that CV in one salvo, I need to stay on these surface ships. Now I would have had to rotate all my guns over here, ignore these surface ships, and then just leave the 2 Petros that are at very low health to deal with these surface ships. So I need to help continue to help them with these surface ships. Here come the torpedo planes, and again, AA's focused on their side and everything. And he's in the AA of a Petro with DFAA on, myself in Ohio with priority sector selected, and didn't even slow him down at all. I think he lost maybe 1 or 2 planes. So I'm up to 16 planes down with 71,000 plane damage. Thankfully, I was able to turn in there and to avoid eating a lot of those torpedoes to them before they could take out that Petro right there. So we're still in a cyclone, so that Venezia can't see me and I can't see him. Stalingrad's hugging the island, and here comes the FDR yet again with literally a full squadron of rocket planes. And if you haven't seen the FDR's rocket planes, oh boy, it's a show. Stalingrad comes out from around the corner. So now I literally have to show broadside these rocket planes to not get blocked by the Stalingrad. And look at that. I think that was like 6k damage with his rocket plane, so that wasn't even that good of a run with him. And again, I've shot down 1 plane now after doing almost another 10,000 damage to his squadrons. So 18 planes shot down, 82,000 damage. I'm trying to deal with the Stalingrad too, trying to get him as far away from that ACAP as he can so we can continue to gain points from it. So yeah, I'm pretty much boned at this point. FDR's right there. I do try to see if I can get my front 2 turrets on him, but I cannot before he gets behind that island. Here comes the rocket planes yet again. I'm trying to angle to the Venezia sap. Oh, the Venezia was so terrible last season. Look at these rockets, y'all. Oh my god, so many. With the 4,000 damage there. Look how slow these planes are. I think right here, this is the one moment I shoot down the most amount of planes from his squadron. 4. 4. That's the most. And look at that. Look, he doesn't care. He literally doesn't care. So I pop my fighter here. And he's flying. He's orbiting the ship. Doesn't do anything. Shoot down 1 plane, and it doesn't matter. 103,000 plane damage with 23 planes shot down. He didn't care at all. And I know a lot of you are probably saying right now, oh, but now he'll have a reduced effect on the rest of the match because he had to give up so many planes to get through you and the Petros. I'm glad you brought that up. Welcome to Mr. Pickles' perspective, our resident DD main who's filling in for our resident CV main. So this is a little bit before I go down here, and as you can see, he's done a pretty good job of trying to hold this one, well, not this one Petra, but this whole flank back with himself and the 2 cruisers he had over here. So now he's got this 1 Petropavlovsk left. And look at this, the replays, you can actually see the CV reticle now. That's kind of nice, ain't it? Petropavlovsk, boy, that's, again, this ship's everywhere, this clan season, because it sits so low on the waterline, you can't citadel it. Well, you can citadel it with MVR rocket planes, but it's incredibly hard to do, unlike other tier 10 cruisers that sit up higher out the waterline, because the Petro's almost a friggin' submarine with as low as it sits in the waterline. So Pickles comes up with a pretty good drop right here and gets, I believe, yep, a citadel there on the Petropavlovsk. So Pickles up to 114,000 damage, which is a lot of damage in clan battles. And keep in mind too, this is actually a fairly long clan battles match. Most clan battles match, because there's much fewer players, don't really last too long unless you get 2 really equally matched teams go up against each other. And there I go. I just check out right there with the FDR. And now Pickles is by himself. If you notice, Pickles squadrons are like half full. This is an MVR, which is a really strong CV right now. So he's lining up on the Petropavlovsk and drops his drop there. And look at that double citadel on the Petro. Drops him down to 7,000 damage. But unfortunately, Pickles is noticed this match, and he is getting fired upon by the Petro, but he has managed to put his stern in the Petro's face now. So he's got his rocket planes out, hoping he's going to citadel the Petro out of existence. Oh, there's the FDR's planes, fresh from murdering me. On top of the Petro, RNG says, nope, all your rockets are going in the water. Pickles says, that's fine, I have torpedoes. And again, look at his squadrons versus the FDRs. That's the same rocket squadron that the FDR struck me with, and that my AA damaged on my ship's way out, and it's performing an attack run on an enemy CV. And keep in mind, CVs have like the best AA at their tier. Okay? And that damaged squadron just took a run on Pickles' FDR, and Pickles only shot down 3 planes. Okay, with CV AA. So he nicks the Petra with 1 torpedo there, gets a flood on him, and sends in his rocket planes to finish the job. And, ooh, almost like that flat cloud there, the planes drop just in time. And he aims a little bit higher this time, strikes the Petra in his Citadel, gets a double Citadel, and finishes off the Petra. So now Pickles at 142,000 damage done so far. And look at this, that rocket planes, again, a full friggin' squadron. Like, it literally doesn't matter. And also notice, Pickles now has triple fighter coverage over his CV with the CV's AA. And he even backs out of his planes here to set his priority sector. So triple fighters, well, double fighters now because one of them backed off. And nothing. Priority sector with CVAA, double fighters. The fighters don't latch, and because he didn't latch, he got hit. Because there's no way in hell a single ship's AA can have a chance of mitigating the damage from an FDR strike. So Pickle sends his own rocket planes after the FDR, and there's the sound of those lovely dive bombers, and there goes Pickles. So keep in mind too, he still had 2 of those fighters around when those dive bombers showed up and finished him off. So this video is just showing how the AA mechanics that we have in game currently, they're nowhere near fleshed out enough to deal with this. Because the FDR in random battles is pretty bad. I mean, again, it really doesn't have to care about AA that much unless you are literally flying over like 8 or 9 AA ships. And unless you literally just fly it straight through a flat cloud. Any competent CV player with the FDR in random battles can easily rock the match. In clan battles, if you have just a decent CV player, you will more than likely win with FDR because you literally cannot muster the AA needed to handle an FDR in clan battles. I'm convinced at this point, from what we've seen, that the only way to do it is to literally have everybody ball up and just have like DFAA and full AA builds, and then maybe you'll stand a chance against an FDR. But practically speaking, in clan battles, it's nigh impossible. I mean, you guys saw there at the end, double fighter over Pickles MVR with priority sector set. Shot down like 1 plane before and 3 planes after. And you can tell the FDR didn't care because he was still sending full squadrons after, or at least mostly full squadrons. And again, this was a match that went on for a little while longer than is normal in clan battles. No, I think Pickles got taken out somewhere around the 5-minute mark. This is a 15-minute clan battle. That really doesn't happen that often. So the FDR has more than enough endurance to get through a match. And keep in mind too, Pickles was in the MVR. MVR is one of the strongest CVs right now. Probably honestly the strongest CV now besides FDR. And he not like Pickles did bad or anything. He almost got 150,000 damage that match. That's a lot of damage in clan battles. You only have 7 ships to target in that battle. Most of the time you're focusing on one flank like Pickles was. So he did a pretty darn good job. You know, that's why this season it's just, if you got an MVR on your team, MVR on the enemy team, hope you have the better MVR. If there's an FDR on the enemy team and you have any other carrier, well, we hope that your CV player can kill the FDR before the FDR wipes out your team, or you're just done, unless the FDR is just seriously an incompetent CV player. And this FDR, don't take this as crapping on the guy. I'm not salty at the team or anything. It's not their fault that the ship's broken. But he didn't seem like a super unicum CV player. Like, he whiffed a couple of shots here and there. He dropped his torpedoes too early a couple of times. And again, I'm not crapping on the guy or anything. I'm just saying he's not a super unicum. So imagine this ship, from what you've seen in this battle, in the hands of a super unicum. what are you going to do? Because the super unit comes now with MVR are quite frightening enough. Then give them an FDR, a plane that really doesn't care about AA, and what can you do? Because AA is AI controlled, and planes are now manually controlled. At least back in the day, it was AI planes versus AI AA. And yeah, you can manually drop and stuff, but you couldn't dodge flak or anything. And now with the FDR, with how slow the planes are, it's not really hard to dodge flak. And now with the health of the planes too, it's like you don't even need to care a lot of times. I mean, obviously you don't want to go flying straight through flak, and I do think that's the only way you can really take out on FDR, is if the driver literally just drives through flak. And I know the ship has its downsides, but guys, this isn't clan battles where those downsides really don't matter all that much. It's fighting only 7 ships, realistically, only 3 or 4 at a time, because it's clan battles, and unless the team bunches up, which we've tried that before, and it really doesn't seem to matter all that much to the FDR, it doesn't really matter. And it's unhealthy that this mode, which is the end game for a lot of players, competitive, is being affected like this. I mean, the players that play clan battles are some of the most dedicated World of Warships players. These are the people that spend hundreds of hours on the game every week, that drop money, lots of money on the game, and they're getting burnt out. I mean, heck, Season 9 saw a whole lot of players just give up because it's too frustrating. And now you introduce something like the FDR into that same formula. And granted, they have made steps to try and rein in the CVs, and like I said before in the prior video, I think if they wouldn't have changed anything with the CVs, or just, heck, if they even changed the bomb drop patterns and the characteristics of how the drum bops and the slight tightening of the aiming reticle, I think with the changes they made this season with the cyclones and stuff, if you get a cyclone every match, I think it would have been a much better season. But then you go and release FDR right before the season starts, and now this thing's cropping up more and more. In my first video about clan battles, I said it wasn't really that big of an issue because it's kind of a rare ship, because it does cost a fair bit of still to get. But now that clan battle's been going on for a couple of weeks, looks like people have gotten the still they needed. And in this one night session alone, out of the, I think we played 7 matches that night, 4 of them had FDRs in it. And we couldn't do anything. Couldn't do anything. So just want to show you guys how ridiculous the FDR is, and even with a ship like the Ohio with almost a full AA build, and with a MVR with CVAA and double fighters, it's just, it just doesn't do anything. The fighters need to be reworked or fixed so bad. It's annoying. When you do everything you can do, you do everything right. You focus your A, you launch your fight at the right time, you pop your DFA at the right time, and it literally does not matter. And not to mention, too, that you can try to maneuver your way out of the FDR's sights, but the FDR literally doesn't care if you maneuver during the drop. If you haven't seen a Geishu's 360 torp drop on I think it was a Holland, you need to go check that out, because, yeah, it was pretty wow. And if you want to see the clip, I believe it's on Geishu's Twitch channel, or it's in Denarmo's FDR video if you want to see that. But yeah, it doesn't care if you move, unlike the other CVs. It doesn't give a crap. The ship literally doesn't give a crap about whatever you do. You're going to get hit, and it's going to be a painful hit at that. Anyway, guys, just want to share this with you and show you guys just how crazy the FDR is. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. If you want to support the channel, link to the Patreon is in the description down below. All proceeds there will go to fund ship reviews and the like. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.